Hitting hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Head to youtube.com, put Locked On Sports Atlanta into your search browser. Hit that subscribe button. We're pushing toward 4,000 subscribers. We appreciate it so greatly. Leave us a comment. Of course, we are free and available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, including Spotify and Odyssey. Download us for free today. Leave us a 5-star review, and then follow me on my personal Twitter page at JMCH316. That was a message on Saturday. 49-3, University of Georgia absolutely, positively obliterated the Oregon Ducks, the number 11 rated Oregon Ducks. Now, look, I said on my college football show on Saturday morning that I thought Georgia would win. I thought Georgia would cover. Georgia didn't just cover. The spread was almost 3 touchdowns, and they more than doubled the number. I think it was 18 or 19 was the spread going into the game. They won by 46. So, look, here's what we found out for sure about the University of Georgia in this game. Number one, Stetson Bennett showed that he's ready to take that next step and play at an even higher level. And I think Georgia would be a playoff team even if Stetson Bennett didn't have a big step forward. But he had an enormous game. And I was told by a Georgia pundit on the college football show that I do on Saturdays. I was told that, this is going to be the blueprint. Dan Lanning is going to have the blueprint for how to take away Stetson Bennett. They're going to take away the middle of the field and going to force him on the outside and this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Well, let me tell you, if that's the blueprint for how to slow down and stop Bennett in Georgia, they should take Dan Lanning as either a lousy coach or he should take that blueprint, soak it in kerosene, and then cover it in lighter fluid, burn it to 1,000,000 charred pieces, and then take those 1,000,000 pieces and put them into a shredder and make charcoal out of it. Because if that's your blueprint for how you're going to slow down this Georgia team, you're in real trouble. And I heard from some people on Twitter, well, the schedule will be hard. Okay, who's beating Georgia? Who? Unless they beat themselves, who's beating Georgia? They'll obviously win this week against Samford. Is Samford's son going to play? It's not Samford's son. It's just Samford. All right. Anyway, they'll throttle South Carolina. They'll throttle Missouri. They'll throttle everybody on their schedule. Maybe the Florida game after what we saw on Saturday. But if that's the blueprint, you're in real trouble. Bennett in that game was 25 of 31 for 368, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and ready? 11.9 yards per attempt. 25 of 31 for 11.9 yards per attempt. To put it in perspective, Bo Nix was 21 of 37, $173, 4.7 yards per attempt. Not a single touchdown, but did manage 2 picks. And this Georgia defense, and we'll talk about these guys here in just a second, aren't going to miss a beat. First, let me talk about my friends over at Coffee AM. You know how much I love these folks. Right here in the state of Georgia, up in Canton, they are your best small batch coffee roaster in America. CoffeeAM.com is the place to go. You want organic coffees, you want flavored coffees, you need teas, you're looking for a mug, a pug, a bug, whatever. All of that stuff is at CoffeeAM.com. So here's what I want you to do. Head to CoffeeAM.com/locked-on. CoffeeAM.com/LOCKEDON. Go there today. Check out their wide extent. You need K-Cups. You need this, bada boop. They got everything there for you, okay? I want you to put together that first order, okay? Get a wide variety of different things. Trust me, when they deliver that box to your house and you open it up, it's going to smell like heaven on earth. Get a wide variety of different things at CoffeeAM.com/locked-on. And when you put that first order together and you hit the checkout, okay, I want you to put the coupon code LOCKED-ON, LOCKEDON, Locked On. Put that coupon code in at checkout. You'll get 15% off your first order. Coffees, teas, gift set, doesn't matter. Whatever you buy, 15% off that first order simply by using the coupon code Locked On at checkout. Locked On at the checkout will get you 15% off that first order. CoffeeAM.com. They are the best small batch coffee roaster in America. Now, defensively, Georgia lost they lost 15 guys and they lost 5 first-round draft. Did they look like a defense that lost 5 first-round NFL draft picks? Here's what we know for sure. Okay. The idea of, well, there might be a bump in the road, and there ain't going to happen. You saw Christopher Smith and Jalen Carter, and you saw all these guys just go out there and club Oregon. And I don't care what Oregon is or is not. That's still a Division I team. I got news for you. They beat half the teams on Georgia's schedule. They beat the Vandy's and the Missouris and those kinds of crap teams because those teams are garbage. Good for Vandy. They're 2-0 for the first time since 2018 after they beat Elon. Good for them. Good for Vanderbilt. Okay, but we saw this Georgia defense get after it, and their secondary is outstanding. Christopher Smith, who, by the way, won the SEC Defensive Player of the Week award. That's all he did in his first game out there. He's going to be a handful for teams this year. That's going to be your big X factor guy. And I go back to the early Mark Richt days in the early 2000, 2001, 2002, and all that, when they had Thomas Davis and Sean Jones, and then eventually had Greg Blue and those guys, right? That's where Georgia's defense was so good. Yeah, they had Pollock and Thurman and those guys, and they were outstanding up front. And Pollock was the stud of all studs. But what was really the X factor about what made Georgia hum and run with the Brian Van Gorder defense, what got them to full tilt boogie mode, was having Sean Jones and Thomas Davis and those guys. Christopher Smith is an outstanding defensive player. He's going to be first team All SEC. Keely Ringo is going to be first team All SEC. Jalen Carter is going to be first team All SEC. And guess what's going to happen? They're going to have another 5 guys that are drafted first round in the NFL off their defense. So I don't know if you want to talk about blueprints and stuff like that. You could not have put a blueprint up better for what Georgia is. And they completely overwhelmed Oregon with their talent. And guess what? For the vast, vast, vast majority of the teams this year that Georgia plays, they're going to do that to them every week. They're going to overwhelm them with their talent. And if Stetson Bennett is this guy and he's going to up his game and they're going to get that offense into full tilt boogie mode, then Georgia's not going to get beat during the regular season. That's the best bet that there is. I think it was Vegas Insiders that had Georgia at 10.5 regular season wins. Brother, that's the easiest check to cash in the history of betting in mankind, is taking the over on Georgia. Because unless they go out there and they beat themselves, there was no hangover, there was no fatigue, there was no fat cat syndrome, there was no rubber chicken dinner syndrome for the Bulldogs. And I saw this firsthand at SEC Media Days. When I sat down with Kirby, when I sat down with Nolan Smith, when I sat down with these guys, and Stetson Bennett was another guy I sat down with, you could tell this team was ready to rock and roll. And there was no fat cat syndrome. And they showed that. That's a bad sign for the rest of college football. Because I would make a case, Alabama and Georgia probably played better than any 2 other top 10 teams in America. Certainly more, and I understand level of competition. I'm with you. But when you look what Georgia did, that was a message to the college football world that, hey, we're here to stay. We ain't going anywhere. And yeah, we lost all these guys last year. And guess what? I got a whole crap ton of them coming right behind to whoop you every week. All right, when we come back, this is going to be a sneaky, maybe difficult stretch, tough stretch for the Braves. We'll compare that to what the Mets have going on. We'll talk about it next. Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery, Locked on Sports Atlanta.